Okay, good day everybody. Welcome again. This is Freeman Dlamini from Free-Techno Enterprises. Today I want us to talk about the do-while loop in Java programming, right? In our previous tutorial we talked about the while loop, in which you said the while works similar into the for loop, right? It's just that in the for loop you have stipulated numbers in which you use to maintain your loop, whereas the while loop you just give, you just give your condition and then do whatever you do. But if let me assume that you understand the while and the for loop. If not, please look into the video that I'm going to share in top there, so that you can be able to see the while loop and the for loop. Otherwise, let's continue. So today we're going to be talking about it do while loop. Do while loop. I want to create a, where can I create another Java file in here. Remember that I'm using IntelliJ, so sometimes IntelliJ is good. I don't know what, but then I'm going to be talking about it while loop. So if we can try to remind ourselves, what's a loop? We said a loop, it's a programming construct that executes code repeatedly. Executes code repeated, right? Like if I want to print your surname or your name, I'm going to print it again, maybe for a number of times, stipulated number of times, right? So today we are going to be looking into the do while loop. We said we had the types of the loop that we looked into. We have the for, we have the while, and then today we want to talk about the do while loop, like this one. So what exactly is the do while loop? So the do while loop, we said it's a loop just like the other loops, but the difference is this one is going to print, is going to execute, in fact, at least once before it stops. If you, let me say, if you want your loop to run 3 times and then you give a condition that maybe the loop has to stop before running at all, just like what we did in the while. Giving a false condition means that the while loop never runs, right? But this kind of loop, what is it going to do? It is going to run even though you haven't, even though you have given it the false condition. How? Let us see. Now let us just use VM like this. I want the main method. So the structure of the while loop is the do while loop is very simple. We just say do while something like this, and then in the while part you put in the condition here. The condition is, which is while, let me say, true, right? And then in the do part, it is where you do what you program. It's like when you are speaking English. I'm not sure what is happening in here. I was trying to say this one. What is happening? Because this has to be out of this. The structure should be like this. We have the do double curly braces, which is the opening and closing, and then the while, which is this condition inside the parentheses, right? So what happens is we want to do this while something is happening. Just like when you speak English, we'll see, do this while I am doing whatever I am doing. Go to school while I'm at work. That is what is happening in here. What we are saying is go to school while what? Let us assume the true is I am at work, right? This is how the do while loop, the do while loop operates, or maybe performs. That is how. If I can run it now, I want to run this file. I'm going to run this file, the do while loop, as you can see. Or for us to be able to see the results. I think now by now you must understand that this type of loop is going to be an infinite loop. I think you must know. You must be able to know this. But now we are creating an infinite loop by this. Because when you say while true, this true is going to be true for forever. So it is going to run as an infinite loop. For us to be able to control our loop, we need to put a condition that is going to come to an end in here between these parentheses, right? We need to put a condition that is going to come to an end so that when you run the program, it comes to an end. As you can see, do go to school while true. That is what I've said. It is an infinite loop. So what we are going to do, Ganya, we are going to say, I want us, excuse me, I want us to be able to control the loop so that we can see the difference between the while loop and the do while loop. So for us to control the loop, we are going to have a counter variable. Counter. Counter is equal to, let us start it from 0, right? And then here we are going to say while counter is less than 5. It's less than 5. What am I doing? What did I do? Counter is less than 5. We're going to do this while the counter variable is less than 5. So what we're going to do in here, we are going to add the counter, right? We want to add the counter. So how do we add counter? We are just going to say counter and then add 1. I think you understand this by now because we did it in the previous loop. If you didn't see it, you can just watch the while loop. This is the same thread that we did. If you can run this code now, you're going to see it is going to print the counter variable, I think for 5 times. Let us just see, because it is starting from 0, printing this. Oh, it is going to print this one, not a counter variable. This for 5 times. Now it is not an infinite loop. It must be a finite loop. So it is going to print this for 5 times, and after the 5th time, it is going to stop, because we said while the counter is less than 5, we want to print this. I want us to understand something. That's the do while is a bit different from the while loop. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is now printing. If you didn't notice, please rewind the video back so that you can be able to see that previously it was infinite, but now it is finite, right? So let us now look into the difference between the loop, the do while loop and the while loop. So we say we want to do this while counter is let us say while counter is less than 1, is greater than 0. Yeah, let us say while counter is greater than 0. If we say while counter is greater than 0, it means it will never happen. It will happen because this is going to be an infinite loop, because counter here is going to be greater than 0, and then it is going to be an infinite loop. Well, how do we want this? Okay, let us make it less than 1, something like this. While counter is less than 1, we want to print this. What does that mean? While counter is less than 1, it is going to print. Okay, if we say while counter is greater than 0, a bit less. Let's try running this one to see. Well, if we say while counter is greater than 0, what exactly is going to happen? Counter is 0. So if you say while counter is greater than 0, in the do while loop, it is going to be an infinite loop, I think. Yeah, because we will jump the first 0 here, and then when we jump the first 0, we are going to we're going to have an infinite loop. I'm trying to run, that is why I'm looking into this. I'm trying to run to see is it running so that we can see the difference in here. Yeah, it's an infinite loop. Why is it an infinite? Because what happened here, we jumped this zero, the first one in here, because the do while loop runs at least once. I think now you understand. If it was the while loop here, this was not going to print anything. We were not going to have an infinite loop. But because it is a do while loop, this one jumped the first counter, and we have one in here, and that is why we have an infinite loop. So what we are going to do now, let us make another variable. Let's call it boolean flag, and then maybe make it false, right? And then what we're going to say here, while flag, meaning that if flag is true, we want to print this. Here, based on the other loops, this one means that we are not going to have any printout or any execution, right? Because this already false, so we don't have to print. But let's watch and see. Let's just watch and see. Are we really going to get those results, those expected results? Because what we expect now is that we don't expect to print anything because flag is false. We said while flag is true, because this means that flag is true, and now flag is false. So this means that we will not see anything. We are not going to see anything. So let us see what exactly are we getting out of this. But it is taking too long to run, or I'm not sure why, because as you can see, it printed at least once, and then it decided to stop because we said if flag is false, never print or never execute. But it decided to execute because it is what? It is a do while loop. Please do, if you want to get a clear picture between the do while and the do while loop and the while loop, you can take a look in both the videos, this one and the previous video in the Java program, so that you can understand what exactly. I'm going to post the Java video in top here so that you can understand the one with the white, so that you can understand the difference between these two. So what happens with the do and then what happens with the while. Otherwise, thanks for supporting the channel. Continue supporting the channel by sharing to your friends, by sharing to everyone, and then by subscribing. Tell everyone about this channel. Tell everyone that we are learning in this channel, more especially in programming. We are learning programming in this channel, so we also have articles about programming. I'm going to share links on them so that everyone gets knowledge about IT and programming. Otherwise, thanks, continue subscribing.